Thank you very much, Kelly. And I also want to thank my colleagues that are standing behind me for standing behind us to rebuild Pennsylvania's infrastructure. There's a lot of issues swirling around the General Assembly here, and of course they're all important, but from my perspective, as somebody who's been involved with electric utilities and environmental regulations for over 20 years, there's no more important issue for Pennsylvania than to ask the question, how can we rebuild Pennsylvania's infrastructure? I'm proud to stand here today and to support the infrastructure agenda for Pennsylvania that's put together by this group. And this is a bipartisan group. There's a lot of variety within our membership, but we all stand together to support infrastructure in Pennsylvania. I want to talk in particular about electricity and that part of the agenda. Of course, as everybody knows, there's a debate going on here in the General Assembly about electricity policy, and in particular surrounding the fact that the rate caps put in place back in 1996 will come off in most of the state in a few years. There are some who want to extend those rate caps, but I'm here to tell you that doing that would be a very bad thing for anybody who thinks that we need to develop our infrastructure, electricity infrastructure in Pennsylvania. I agree wholeheartedly with an editorial just yesterday in the Allentown Morning Call, which summed it up by saying, extending the caps solves nothing. I agree, and that's certainly true with regard to infrastructure. The caps need to expire on schedule. Over the coming years, we're going to need a lot of investment in our electricity infrastructure. We're going to need new generating plants. We're going to need new types of plants that are cleaner than the plants that were built in the past. We're going to need renewable energy. We're going to need more transmission infrastructure to get that power from where it's generated to where customers use it. And we're also going to need significant investments in energy efficiency technologies to reduce demand. That will also be an important part of this. The reality is that the prices we're paying now are sufficient to pay for infrastructure built in the past, but that's past history. We need prices that are sufficient to pay for infrastructure in the 21st century. And as Representative Geis said, the cost of commodities such as steel, aluminum, copper, all of those things needed to build roads. Some of them are needed to build roads, but a lot of them are needed to build electricity infrastructure. All those prices are going up, and we need retail prices that are going to support the type of investment that we need. I want to close with by recognizing a study, an international study, done by the International Energy Agency, which is put together and sponsored by 27 different countries. They wrote a paper called Tackling Investment Challenges in Power Generation. And they took, of course, the broadest possible perspective. They looked over the entire world at countries. Some of them are very regulated, some of them are moving towards markets. And they asked the question, how can we get the kind of investment we need in power generation? And I'm going to have a brief quote here. Here's what they said. Electricity markets deliver considerable benefits if implemented wholeheartedly and if backed by ongoing government commitment. Competitive markets with cost-reflective prices effectively balance economic efficiency, reliability, and environmental responsibility. I could not have said it better. I agree completely with that quote. And I hope that as we move through this energy debate in the legislature, we would ask the General Assembly to recognize that the caps have to be allowed to expire on schedule. And in addition to that, we would call on the General Assembly to reinforce the commitment to electricity markets, because that's the best way to rebuild electricity infrastructure in Pennsylvania. Thank you.